Max and Nina Creasy live along T-Bar Road on a beautiful mid-slope bench with a large meadow and oak woodlands. A retired Forest Service ecologist, Max used fuels reduction and prescribed fire to maintain effective fuel breaks and restore threatened oak woodland habitats on his property.
This oak grove right here in front of us, it started out as a fire safe project, 2-3 years ago we came in here. And at the time, you couldn't even see in here. You were lucky to be able to see an oak stem in here if you looked into this forest. And the Douglas firs were starting to come up through the top of these oaks and starting to shade them out. There's a lot of Doug fir regeneration going on in here even now. And like a little creeping fire like this with these oak leaves now, as the fuel is enough to kill these little Doug firs. So that's the next step in here, is probably clean up what firewood's in here that's worth salvaging, and then broadcast burn, continue to broadcast burning with these oak leaves and use that to kill these young Doug firs.
Max has taken a careful approach to applying fire to areas where fire has been excluded for a long time.
We know how much attention to detail is required to restore these oaks. We just can't come in and just drop fire willy-nilly. There's a lot of prep work that has to be done and a lot of care all through the burning process. My use of fire to date has been mainly with a lot of chainsaw work and piles and burning piles, and I will continue to do that because the need is so great for that, because there's so much fuel out here. What I hope to do is use prescribed fire or underburn fires a lot more, broadcast burns a lot more. And we started that through the help of the Fire Safe Council. It always feels good to have a crew out there when you're doing that kind of work. Get a scratch line in or have a hose lay, to have an engine there with some water. That's a critical resource. And it's really hard, I think, for landowners to pull that off effectively, or in a safe manner anyway, and feel safe about it without that kind of support.
Adjacent landowners affect the strategic use of fuel breaks to stop wildfires. Where multiple landowners work together to make contiguous fuel breaks, the chances of positive outcomes during wildfires increase exponentially.
Being mid-slope, I'm very, very thankful that my neighbors, Taz and Dare, downslope, have an appreciation for fire ecology and fuels reduction, and because Taz has done a great job of reducing fuels around his property and downslope there. So that's probably some of the best protection that I have immediately downslope. And then I feel the same way about my neighbors upslope, the Strausses, and so when the Fire Safe Council came here, that was a high priority for me, was to treat the upper part of that property, which we did a great job on. Went through there and did all that site prep with chainsaws, got all those ladder fuels down in the ground, did an underburn in there, and that turned out beautiful. That looks really good, and that's a good protection for the folks that live upslope. And so the community around here, we keep working at it, and especially with the help of the Fire Safe Council, I think we're making some very significant progress.
Thanks for joining us for this episode of Lifestyles of the Rural and Fire Safe. We hope you are inspired to follow in the footsteps of these fire safe pioneers and apply these techniques to your own property. If you would like assistance or need more information, please contact the Orleans-Somesbar Fire Safe Council at 530-627-3202.